Are you ready to learn what red flags keep an eye out for when looking for love?
Then we got you covered. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Alex.
And this is the podcast where we unpack reality TV and call out the bullshit.
So that you show up confidently while dating and in relationships. Welcome to Ditch the Script.
I love it. Hi.
Hello.
What a day. Oh my goodness, what a day you and I are having.
Yeah,
Oop.
we are having... I just caught my mic. Testing.
Yeah, but you know what?
1, 2.
We got the audio through the mic though. That's what you heard.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's today's been slowly moving in time. Time has been an illusion today.
Yeah, yes. Things have happened. You're taking care of yourself and all of the ailments that are trying to distract you. I came home from a weekend trip and my AC was off. You know what the worst part about this was?
Tell me how humid it is over there. God.
Well, yes. And in addition
Were
to
the
that,
walls sticky?
Girl, they weren't just sticky, they were stinky. I forgot to remove my trash. I usually always take my trash out before I leave for a weekend. I came back, it's one thing. And I said to my dad, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to take out the trash before I left. And he was like, it's fine. It's just going to be stinky. Neither of us anticipated that it wasn't going to have air conditioner for air conditioning for how long? Oh my God. It smelled like an absolute dumpster in here.
Did you have a science project growing in there?
May as well have been. It definitely smelled different than it did when I left. And I'm like, I don't even have time for this. I have to learn how to be HVAC certified in an hour.
No. You're like,
we
got a 2319. If any of the Disney nerds will get that. It's an inside joke.
Yeah, where's that from?
Monsters
I wish I
Inc.
was. Oh, okay,
Monsters
that's right.
Inc.
Oh, girl, I'm so bad at these things. I'm so
no, it's
bad.
okay. It's okay. You're not bad at all.
Listen, I may not be educated at Disney, but I am educated in how an air conditioning unit works now. So
Yeah, and all the other pop culture things.
Yeah, I have a lot of random pop culture stuff stored. I have stuff about celebrities that I don't want stored, and you have stuff about Disney facts that you do want stored. I do.
That's that's my only. Whenever we're talking about hypothetical trivia teams, I'm like, I'll be on the team that does Disney trivia because that's the only thing I think that or ballet. It's gonna be one or the other, and I highly doubt there's any bars doing ballet trivia.
I wish that they would.
So
we'd crush.
No, what? Yeah, you and I would cry. It would have to be you against, we would have to be against each other. Who the hell else are we going to play against?
I don't ever want to be against you ever in my life. Don't make me ever do that.
Well, we need to find another team is what I'm saying. Who else is going to play ballet trivia?
Oh, you want to make it.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
But no bars would do that anyway, so we're back to square one.
No, they'd be like, I'm sorry, you basically want us to talk in French for 2 hours? No thanks.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, this is boring. Let's talk about something more fun.
We've gotten so many followers on Instagram over the last 2 weeks.
That's amazing. Hi, followers. Hi, friends.
Do you see do you get Instagram notifications for our DTS Instagram?
I get all I don't honestly. I don't.
You don't know what's what. You don't know what's what.
Okay. Literally
Girl,
today, actually. Look, can I just tell you a funny story? This happened today. I was working on this AV card that I'm building, and I hear my phone, bzz, 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 and I finally look over, and it's Instagram, and I was like, I need to learn how to turn that notification off. Mental health comes first.
Yeah. It's insane.
It's funny how I had that very valid thought earlier, and now you're like, so do you get IG notifications? It's like, let me tell you.
Let me tell you how I'm actively trying to figure out how to not get those.
Not get them, yeah.
Okay, well, then I should tell you that, like, we have had such a steady increase of followers and viewage.
Yay!
On our
Friends, come
Instagram.
hither.
Absolutely. Take that, Mom. Did I tell you that my mom roasted me?
No, about our show.
Yeah, kind of.
Lynn, I'm coming for you.
One of her cousins made a comment on Facebook on my birthday, like saying how she just enjoyed how I share my love, light, and my friendship on the podcast. It was really sweet. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know that she listened. And my mom was like, yeah, that's good. That's one of your 60 followers. I was like, damn. Also, like, catch up, Mom. We're in the hundreds, okay?
Yeah. 200
Okay.
Exact. Back up.
Yeah, we have back up. We have 457 followers today.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. Listen, you guys, they're small numbers, but it's cute. It's super cute.
Quality over quantity.
That's right.
100. Seriously. Always.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity. You matter here.
Yeah.
And so do you, Brie.
Thank you.
I just want you to know. Yeah.
Oh.
I love how your mom's
matter
picking. I love how your mom's picking on you.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I thought it was
that's
like
one of her
hysterical.
60 followers.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, one of the 60. Now we just have to figure out who the other 60 are. I was like, damn. Yeah. But you know what? I love a good, like, little burn.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't take yourself too seriously, ever.
Yeah. It's for me, I need context. And if it was that and just that, I'd be okay. But if it's like a roast, like, let me go at you for 10 minutes, I might cry a little bit.
Yeah. You know what? And you know what? And that's totally fair. I feel for my mom, she tends to be kind of the one that gets to be the butt of the joke a lot of the time. It's something that I've been more cognizant since I moved here and, like, spend more time with family in general, where I'm like, oh, that feels like too quick of a reflex for me. And she doesn't really deserve that. She's a human being. She has feelings. And she's, like, a pretty good mom, like, totally doesn't deserve it. So when I heard that and I got that back from her, I was like, yeah, you know what? You did
dig,
that.
Mom.
Go you, Mom. Yeah, you dig.
Yes.
I wanted it for her. I was like, I should be the butt of the joke sometimes.
Get it.
I can handle it.
Now I'm like, I take back my threat from before.
No. That was funny. Keep it in. You gotta keep it in.
Oh my God. Okay.
Honestly, dude, she's not listening. She goes,
you're not one of our 60 followers. What?
That's right. Yeah. I know.
I'm offended.
I know. She was like, I don't think that she meant it to sound like kind of patronizing. She's like, oh, you're still doing that little thing? And I'm like, Mom, yo, we literally work so hard. I think that shit's so funny, though. Like, I think it's so funny.
Oh my God. I just want to have a moment for, like, all the people who work really hard and don't feel seen. I feel like earlier today when I had to run to the pharmacy to get, guys, I woke up with a migraine. So that's part of why today has been rough for me on my end.
Struggle.
Brie has a whole other story. But I'm, like, standing in line, like, migraine aura coming on, and, like, I'm in Walmart and it's bright, and, like, the woman in front of me is livid about them not having her script ready. She's like, this is ridiculous. What's the problem? And she's just, like, going at this pharmacy technician who is, like, the only one back there. Her name is also Elsa, which I just think is, like,
she
powerful now.
Singing.
Yeah.
Let it
she
go.
Practically did. She handled it so well. She was like, I understand your frustration, validating feelings, right? Then she's like, it's going to be ready by tomorrow. Your insurance only covers the specific one and we had to order it. And she was like, okay, it'll be ready by tomorrow. Great. See you then. And she I like total 180 out of this chick. I just love people watching sometimes, dude. It's so fascinating.
I'm with you.
But I felt so bad for her because they were freaking slammed this morning, and she and the pharmacist were the only ones there, and they were like dishing out scripts like pop, pop, pop as fast as they could. And I really felt like she wasn't appreciated enough. And so I actually struck up a random conversation with one of the guys standing next to me about her being like, every time I'm here, she's here kicking ass. And I'm low-key now, I'm like, why didn't I tell that to her face? Because I didn't. I talked nicely behind her back, but not to her face. That's kind of mean.
Listen, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Not intentional.
First of all, you're still putting forth that like positive energy, that like
good juju.
Like I appreciate. Yeah, it's good juju. And it sounds like if she's a hustler, as you say that she is, you'll probably see her again. You can let her
every
know.
time.
Like, yeah, listen,
she's the one
I see you.
consistency at that pharmacy.
I think that it feels really good, especially someone that you may see working at the same place frequently, that you frequent often as a patron, to be like, hey, I see you working really hard here. Like, do you?
Gold
like,
star.
That's it. You don't got to blow smoke up their ass and be like, you are an angel holding our society together. Like, no, you're doing your job. I see you working your ass off. Kudos. Thank you for being here. That's nice.
Yeah. Elsa, you're MVP.
Elsa.
You're MVP of that Walmart pharmacy.
Truly. That's definitely true.
Thank
also,
you for giving me
that people...
my migraine pills.
Yeah, we needed those. It's really interesting when people take out their feelings and their frustrations on what is quite literally sometimes the only person that can help them.
Yes, all the time.
That pharmacist back there was the only person that could have helped her. And she just was like taking out all of her frustrations because she didn't know who else to like turn to like bring it to. She wasn't going to do it to you. You're you're dealing with a migraine. You're like in pain, don't even want to be there. But it's like, why are you going to be so nasty to literally the only person that has like the access to assistance for your identified problem? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, we do that to the people whose help we need and also to those closest to us usually too. It's really like a fascinating thing.
For instance, I just like called my mom 2 hours ago when I was like dealing with this issue and I was scared. Like I came home, the AC wasn't working. First time homeowner, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And I like get on the phone and I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. I had already taken some steps and accessed some help. And I was like, do you have a wet vac? And she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, don't worry about it. Just, do you have what I need? And I really like laid into her, and she didn't deserve it because I was also asking for her help and I was asking for her support. And she was like, how can I help you if you're asking me in the middle of a problem? Like, I don't even know what you're doing. I don't know if I don't know if I'm okay to say yes. Like, are you going to hurt yourself? Like, she was worried about me. Aww. And I'm like, shut up. Like I was being an asshole because I was being reactive, and I would have never gotten on the phone with you and talked to you that way. No. Never.
No.
Like,
yeah.
Poor lady.
Well,
I mean, you just heard it.
I did. I heard her apologize to her mom. I did not ask. I was just like, all right, yeah, she took ownership right there. I was just like, all right, girl.
I said, I'm sorry for all of the things that I said while I was upset and flustered. I could have been a little bit more specific. That's a good note for the future. Like, be more specific in your apologies.
Yeah, I also want to like give you grace because I was looking at you. I'm like, hello, front row seat right here.
That's okay. Yeah, but you're family though, so like that's cool. Probably uncomfortable for you, but
God, I remember
right.
watching. I remember you and your mom getting at it when we were like preteens, and me just being in awe. I was like, she's just so confident to speak up for herself that way. Like, I just remember being like, oh my God, that's amazing.
No. You know what's crazy is that was like not that specific fight. I couldn't even tell you what that fight would have been about. Like it doesn't have a place in my memory. that was the worst time of me and my mom's relationship. I was such an ungrateful little prick, truly. And you really saw that sometimes, like me, like our dynamic getting the best of me and me not knowing how to like deal with stress. And however, I felt that she was like wronging me. Like, oh my God, how dare I?
Yeah. My little 12-year-old, 13-year-old lens looked at it because I feared my mother, right? So I was like, wah! For you to feel close enough to even speak, like that's why I was like, damn. It came from that place. Like for me, like your throat chakra was not blocked, girl. Mine was fucking stapled shut.
Oh,
that's how I felt. Like that's just like, you know, when I like looked at and of course as a child, like seeing your relationship with your mom, I definitely compared to my relationship with my mom, and it was just like so different. And I loved it. Yeah. But I hear you when you're like, that was also one of the hardest, the hardest time in my relationship with my mom, because you're a preteen teenager going through all that, which is like very normal and developmental, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
she had created a safe enough space for me to be able to say what I wanted to her.
Express yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. And unfortunately, like she got the shit end of that stick. Because
she needed tighter boundaries.
Yeah, maybe. Or like I needed to have some fucking perspective, because I think sometimes when parents are good parents and they do the best that they can and they let let their kids express themselves and say how they feel, that, you know, unfortunately we can say really unkind things and things that could that probably really, I'm sure that I have hurt my mom's feelings many times because I felt so confident in saying what I want, and feeling like it wasn't actually going to disrupt our relationship. And I feel for her and what that must have been like for her, you know?
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
I get that. I totally get that. And
I think that repair work.
Yeah, and I think same for me, like, you know, I was not a perfect child in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, it's like, it's just interesting how we all
it's interesting.
Come to be.
That's right, girl. Okay. Well, that was a deeper and more interesting chat than I expected that we were going to get into, but I'm glad that we got there.
I know, it was like a roundabout way from feeling weird long days to pharmacies to here.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I just to like have a check-in moment, like I feel grateful to have had that sort of well, words are definitely hard for me this afternoon, this evening.
It's been a day.
Yeah, it's been a fucking day. This full circle chat, because I feel like you and I have both just been through a lot today, and like to get to this place where we are sort of like theoretically at the end of our days, in my real end of the day. And I feel more relaxed than I did many hours ago. So thank you for allowing me to fully process so that I could be even more present for the exciting stuff, what we're about to do, which is cover BIP.
Yay! I just added some light to my face.
Yeah, let's go. What happened in the light in the room? It was daytime a minute ago.
The sun went behind the mountain, I guess.
Wow.
So the sunlight is less.
That was insane. That happened really
so
fast.
Oh my God. Like, it's really cool to watch outside.
I bet. Oh, I want to see that ASAP.
Whenever
I know, I gotta get there.
But I also am gonna come visit you, so we're Gucci.
We're gonna make it happen. But that was
100.
so crazy, because when we started this, like it was daylight. Yeah. And then now it looks like you're the same time zone as me.
And I'm not. Da-na-na.
That's bizarre.
Twilight Zone.
That was so cute.
Okay, let's go to the Twilight Zone Oh, wait.
of Bachelor
Do you
in
have
Paradise.
That's what I was going to say, but do you have anything else you want to say about your weekend of funsies?
Oh God, no, no! I was in Boston. It was really lovely.
The end? Damn.
The end. Oh, you know what I will say related to
What?
what we're about to cover. So
Let's go.
I was visiting Becca Joe, and Becca Joe and I got to watch Bachelor in Paradise together.
Stop.
Yeah, that was really fun. So, a precursor.
So fun.
A lot of the reflections that I have are informed by some of the back and forth conversations that she and I were having.
Ooh.
So it was really cool to get another perspective of someone who is watching the show with us, but also is closely listens to the podcast and the conversations that we carry on over here. So
Nice.
they all felt like little extensions of things. Like I felt like you were in the room.
Yes, I love it.
So there's and also she listens to a lot of like Bachelor related podcasts. So she had a lot of information about like other stuff and character related that I knew nothing about.
Cool.
I don't know how related
cool.
that's going to be to the chats today, but we're about to fucking find out. We never know what we're going to get into until it's happening.
That's right. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
All right. So the Twilight Zone of Bachelor in Paradise. We're now on day freaking 2 when we start this week? Oh my
God. It's literally like day 2 and 3 that this week covers. And
It feels
I
like
can't
it's an
believe-
eternity.
I agree. And they're treating it like it's been an eternity.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Where should we begin?
Yeah, it was like, where do you want to go? I think what we start with is like Victoria enters.
Great.
She's hot. I'm just gonna say
She's
it.
hot. So I saw her on Peter's season, and then there was some rumor about her and Chris Soules hooking up post Peter's season or something. And I did not like her on Peter's season. She was like low-key, quote-unquote, villain type cast to me. So I was interested to see her walk down the stairs. And so far, I'm actually, because I'm trying to keep an open mind about her as a person, she seems way less... I know what she did and we'll get there, but she seems way less conniving and manipulative this go-around.
Yeah, I was gonna say something similar. Like she is giving maturity. She's giving healthy communication. She's giving a little appropriate vulnerability. Like of what I'm seeing so far as a person who did not know her from other seasons.
Yeah,
her behavior seems not only appropriate for her experience so far, appropriate for the setting.
Yeah,
you gotta date a lot of people.
Yeah, I feel like she's very, like, she's doing, you know how you and I get on here and we talk about Love Island and we talk about, like, you know, normal world if you're dating multiple people versus being in this container and dating multiple people, and how we, quote unquote, would recommend you handling that. Like, I feel she's listened and she's implemented.
Yeah. Victoria, if you listen, could you like give us a shout out for our insight that we shared with you?
So we can have more than 400 followers.
And so I can fucking school my mom and let her know.
I'm going to put that on my IG story this week. I'm going to be like, everyone go follow Ditch the Script so we can tell Lynn Atchison to suck it.
Yeah, we have a long game duel going on here.
Oh, this is going to be great.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that help. Also, like a couple of reels, share them a little, like go interact.
Yeah,
tell us what you
Victoria.
think.
You know, oh my gosh, Matt James's girlfriend Rachel, she wrote us back on the gram. She did.
She did?
Remember when we posted Jamie's thing?
Oh yeah.
Bree doesn't even remember. Rachel, Matt James. We love you.
Listen, Alex, my brain is only filled with HVAC information right now.
Guys.
I have only just returned from the attic.
Yeah, she fixed her whole air conditioning system. We talked about my migraine, but we didn't talk about... I think you did.
I said it.
Oh, God, then my brain. I'm having amnesia then. This
Oh, I said
episode's
my
gonna
air
be
conditioner.
interesting.
I said my air conditioner broke, but I didn't say how it got resolved. I fixed it. Well, I got some support. I called some people, but I
Who
fixed
you gonna
it.
call?
David
Ghostbusters.
Burkhart. That's who I'm gonna call.
Perfect. Put them on speed dial.
She might
Holler.
as well be. Yeah. Okay. So Victoria enters. She takes. Okay. Here's what I thought
Yes.
about these next couple scenes. She comes in. She immediately gets a date card. She takes Justin on a date where we leave
Yeah.
Justin and Genevieve. Is that Genevieve is
Spiraling.
really into him. Yeah. She's
Yeah.
spiraling. She is nervous about Victoria being there. And she is sort of like, she's a self-fulfilling prophecy in these moments where she's like, Justin's gonna get picked, Justin's gonna get picked, Justin's gonna get picked. And then he does, and then she's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, he's not gonna come back liking me. And then it all happens. So what was interesting is so Justin gets picked for a date card. Justin and Victoria are moving towards leaving their like part of the island to go on this date, and they pass Genevieve, and there's this classic tensioned passing. And what I love that I saw
Okay.
was that Justin was like, skirt, gotta go follow Genevieve and go, because he could immediately tell that she was upset. So he was like, gotta go deal with this ASAP.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
my attention needs to be focused on this person I've been spending time with for the last 24 hours. Let's go see what was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened next was like, Justin's like, hey, like, I know that this is awkward. I know that this sucks. I'm paraphrasing, but this is the point of what we're doing here. I got picked to go on this date. I want to be open-minded. How
Yep.
are you feeling? And she was not interested in dropping her guard to be like, hey, like, this actually really sucks for me. Instead, do you remember what she said?
Yeah, I kind of wrote it down.
Love it.
I wrote it down. She says to his face, it's fine. But then in her confessional, she says, if I were to admit that I was bummed and disappointed, what would that get me? And I screamed at the TV. I was like, emotional intimacy, true connection.
Literally.
Yeah. Like, that's literally it. And we've talked about this before, especially on Love Island, and it's coming up again. People are so damn scared to be vulnerable and honest that they miss out on true connection and true healthy relationship foundations because they're trying to be the cool girl. No,
Yeah.
not the vibe.
Yeah. Not the vibe. It's never the vibe. It's never going to be the vibe. Yeah, she also is like the furthest from cool in these moments. You know, like, I understand the impulse to sort of lock up and be like, it's fine. But we've talked about that here. Like, you tell your partner or a person that you're seeing, they're not dating yet, that it's fine when you're clearly not fine. It creates this level of distrust that what you say, you don't mean everything that you say. And then your partner has to sort of become sort of like a spy, a detective, if you will. And they're like, okay, doing mental calculation. She says she's fine. I know that she's not fine. What is it that she needs? What do I need to do to rectify this situation? It's just like, the other person shouldn't have to be working that hard, especially a person that didn't do anything wrong.
For real. Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't really have anything to apologize for.
No. So I want to lend a tool here because I think sometimes what can be very helpful is using parts language here. Like, a part of me feels it's fine because of the context of us being on the beach and like that's the point of the show. And a part of me is really excited about my connection with you. And so I am bummed and disappointed that you're going, but so that's kind of where I'm at. Like, even that is a step in vulnerability while honoring both sides of what she's feeling, because I'm sure there is a logical part of her that's like, technically he's not doing anything wrong, but it's like, I mean, we haven't seen it or hear it. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But that's like a tool if anyone listening ever finds themselves in like a conundrum. And I use that all the time. A part of me this and a part of me that. It's super helpful.
Yeah, I agree. And I think until you try it, what you don't realize is the reason why it's helpful is that it allows you to honor those those feelings without feeling like they have to take over your whole experience and how it's making you feel. Like if I were to get on here and you were to ask me like, hey, how are you doing? And if I was just like, I'm tired, and you might receive that and be like, oh my God, she's really tired. All parts of her are tired. Maybe she can't do this. Maybe she doesn't want to be here. But isn't that different if you say, hey, how are you doing? How are you feeling about this? And I'm like, you know, I'm really tired. There's a part of me that just wants to absolutely call it, shut down, go to sleep over there. But the other part of me knows that I worked hard for this week, and I'm really excited to do this with you. And we both showed up. And so both parts are here. They're both showing up. Tired and excited.
Record a podcast.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like then you get all of that insight about how I'm doing, which takes a little pressure off of you as well.
Yeah. And it allows me to empathize to the proper amount. Cause like, I think this is actually something that I've been on the receiving end of and then been like, ooh, I should have used that tool. Cause someone will come in and be like, how are you? And I'll be like, I'm not feeling great. And then it's like, oh my God, are you okay? And then I'm like, well, no, it's not that bad. And then I find myself backtracking. And then there's like this awkward tension because like mismatch expectation. So I think that's another thing that's great for the receiver, the listener in that part. It's like we can empathize to the appropriate amount when we know what all parts are feeling. You know, if you're like, a part of me isn't feeling well, but a part of me is here to get the job done. You know what I mean? Like, okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah. A part of me isn't feeling great, but a part of me is blah, blah, blah. Like whatever it is. Yeah. Looking forward to dinner later.
And then that person gets to be like, okay, cool. Let me know what you need.
Yeah.
I like that. Love that. I also didn't think about using parts language even in some of these more basic, like, low risk questions, but I think it can be really useful in all of these places.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Let's
Genevieve,
do that.
that's what we needed. That's what we needed for her in this moment. And then Justin and, Victoria go on a really fun date. They're riding ATVs and they go jump in some water somewhere. And they're having a blast. What did you think about their connection on the date?
I thought it was nice, easy, comfortable. There wasn't like, okay, I'll put it like this. When I was watching Gabby and Rachel's season, or what the parts that I did see, it was like cringy flirting. I'm like, oh my gosh, ew. But watching them, it was just like, okay, yeah, they're two people on a date. Like I felt comfy. I felt like, okay, they're cool. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
So I liked that. I was pro that connection.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I was honestly expecting them to engage more with each other throughout the episode or the next two episodes.
Me too.
Should we just talk about it? I want to talk about this through line.
Well, I think
you
that...
Wait?
No, we can jump into the love triangle. I think that's why, I think because of the love triangle, Justin's not being open to exploring other things because he's so focused right now on repairing what just happened with Genevieve. And I think what's happening with Genevieve and Justin is stereotypical anxious avoidant type shit. And so, yeah.
I agree. Yeah. So, what ends up happening is that Justin comes back. It's now Genevieve's birthday at midnight.
Oh my God, that was so funny. All the guys are like, look at your watch, bro. It's past midnight.
He's like, no, her birthday's tomorrow. And they're like, come on, bro, it's 12. And he was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he tries to talk to her about it. And she's like, how's the date? And he's trying to not boast and be like, it was really fucking good. And like, she's a piece of like lady. Instead, I don't know what that was. Okay. Instead, he was like, yeah, I mean, it was good. And she didn't want to hear that. So for her, she had already built it up in her mind. She was so anxious all day. She was like, if he comes back and he's even considering her, I'm out. Like, I don't want to be an option. I don't want to be second to someone else. Like, he's either all in or I don't want him. And I'm like, yes. Except maybe we can hold that standard for like when we've been seeing each other for a little bit, maybe a little longer than a day. I don't know. What do we think, Genevieve? You know, like, just felt like too much too soon. I get it. We all want to feel really special. But it's like, I don't know. I felt that she was making it challenging for the two of them to have a leveled conversation again about her feeling not great about what was going on. Like, I think it could have been a totally different approach if she were like, how was your date? I mean, to be honest, like, I'm curious about it, but I don't really want to hear much about it because it was hard for me today. I had a hard time. Like, you might hear from other people that I was kind of pouting. It was difficult. I'm glad to see you. I'm happy you're here. Yeah, maybe there's a part of me that wishes that you had a terrible date and you'd come back and be like, Genevieve, I just want to see you. But I also know that that's not really fair or really realistic. So I might have feelings. I might just need to deal with that for a little bit. But I do want to still get to know you.
Yeah. Yeah. And she didn't approach with that. It was like an ultimatum in a way, you know, it was like her or me. And he even said he was like, we had everything I told you yesterday was true. I spent the entire day on the beach with you. And so because we had a connection, you expect me to be like, let's pack up and go get married. Like, he said that. And she was like, I expected you to have a definitive answer when you came back from your date. And I don't think that's fair. And we've talked about it on our show, and I'm just going to bring it up again. We need to understand that attraction, sexuality, connection, it's a very much there's fluidness to it, and there's a spectrum to it. And so we can't anticipate, you know, we can't set unrealistic expectations for things in life before we even realistically establish a foundation for anything to fucking grow. And I think that's what's happening here. She is jumping the gun into something because she sees Sierra and Michael, she sees Serene and Brandon, and she's like, well, if it's happening for them, then it should happen for me. Otherwise, I'm less than. And she's clung to that storyline, aka that's the unrealistic expectation that she's now holding herself and Justin to. And it's turning into a really unattractive energy. And a really, what's the word? Like, not, I don't want to say not validating, but later what ends up happening is Justin goes out of his way to like get her a cake for her birthday. And I loved how he listened and understood, like, I know she likes chocolate, but not that much chocolate. So I got her a vanilla cake with a little bit of chocolate. I was like, damn, brownie points for like knowing that specificity about her in particular. And then from a day, and then she sits down with him and is like, thanks, and then continues to say in her next sentence practically, I've not gotten one thing to validate that you care. And I'm like, and he looks at the cake to be like, you know, in a passive aggressive way to be like, hello. And which obviously, like, Justin's not a perfect saint in this situation either, but they both, literally my notes on them are, they both are triggering each other, and they need skills for this to even work, because right now they are polarizing each other. They are literally and he is going to feel, and look, Victoria is the opposite. She is like very grounded. She's open-minded. She's like doing her own thing. She's like, okay, he's going to go talk to Genevieve. I'm going to intentionally go talk to someone else. Who else do I fancy here? And like, what's attractive about that energy is from Victoria right now, between the two gals that Justin's stuck between, is that one is very much sitting in her anxious attachment style of reassure me, validate me, oh my God, I need you, or else. And the other one's like, I like you, but I don't need you. I'm going to go do my thing. And if you're into me, you'll make it known. And what are we going to gravitate towards? The one that's putting immense pressure on someone, or one that's open, like, and breathable?
Yes. All of that. Literally all of that. I agree. I hope that what's coming across, anyone's listening, that is like, we're not criticizing if Genevieve or Justin could have a good connection. They could have a good connection. They could have a good connection with a bunch of people. It is the way in which that they are eliciting a defense mode in each other that is making it so difficult for the two of them to just be able to like meet on the same page and talk about a thing, even if it's not the answer that the other person wants. And I do know that that's hard to do, but like you said, they're triggering each other. It's making it really difficult. And
And they're
It's
3 days into their relationship.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like too much. It's surprising to me. I guess it's not that surprising, but I guess with all of that considered, because I had the exact same feeling, the exact same reaction. I was like, why would he choose Genevieve at this stage? Because of the way that their time spent together has felt very stressful, very kind of chaotic, not a really positive connecting conversation in sight. And so the bonding has really stopped. Unless we're considering like trauma bonding in these moments, but
100%.
This other connection that he's had with Victoria, it's just been like a really good, fun date where there's like appropriate flirting, like true connection, and then like a check-in talk where they're like, "Hey, I like you, like I do want to still get to know you," and the other person's like, "Hey, if I gave you a rose, is that something that you'd be interested in?" She's like, "Yeah." So, like, they sort of just established no more, no less of where they're at. That to me, I'm like, green flag, green flag, green flag, green flag. Same. I would be moving towards that connection. And instead, Justin ends up giving Genevieve a rose because it feels like what you said earlier. It felt like he needed to do that to continue to make up for what has transpired over the last 24 to 48 hours.
Yep. Yeah, dude. I'm like... Oh, yeah. I'm interested to see how that continues because I don't foresee it working out.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Let's move on from them.
So, this is like a really minute moment, but what did you think of Shanae telling Kira to not be so forceful on the men that like she wanted? I was dying laughing.
I thought it was really good insight to share.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that it was super helpful in the way that it helped Kira understand what she was saying. Like I've had someone tell me to like if I wanted to like date a little bit, like just like withhold some more information, like a little mysterious. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I felt like Kira was kind of having a moment like that where she was like, you know, Shanae's like, hey, like, just, you know, put a little less force into it. And Kira's like, what?
Yeah.
I'm not forcing anything.
Like,
but
that
literally
doesn't compute.
Yeah, but she's like stomping along the beach being like, you, man, I want you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Okay, I just had to because I was like, damn, Shanae, she is going for it. I didn't know how Kira was going to respond. And it was interesting. So, yeah. Okay, cool.
Speaking of Shanae, just really quickly, Shanae and Logan go on a date. Logan has been connecting with Haley, which I guess also not that much. And he was talking to Shanae, and I think that there was a moment where Haley and Shanae were both spending time with Logan. There weren't too many interviews. You weren't really hearing how Logan felt about one person over the other. It seemed like anytime he spent flirting with Haley in the early stages of Bachelor in Paradise starting, like he quickly changed his tune. And it was hard for me to get a sense of, there was this really awkward conversation where like Haley was trying to like still flirt and be like, he, like, like,
oh, it was
cringe. What are you thinking? It was horrible. Yeah. There's like, I felt like someone told her like the key to a relationship is make a lot of eye contact, and she took it and she went, you know, just sustained it.
It's Haley. She's also very anxiously attached.
And I couldn't tell if Logan truly didn't know that she was into him to start, or if he was being an asshole at that stage and was just swerving every obvious cue that she was sending. Yeah. And just ignoring it.
I feel based off of what happened with Haley at the end of the episode with Jacob. Did you notice what happened then?
Well, she was sort of doing a similar thing.
Yeah, how she was like, I'm serious about Jacob and I's relationship. And it's like, I literally put in my notes, what relationship? Like,
yeah, what relationship?
So I think that she's a little bit of like, she preemptively assigns these terms of like, now that we've talking, really? Now that we've talked,
I love that.
God,
Christopher
damn,
Walken gets to talking.
That's how you know. That's how you know it's been a long day.
Okay. Bitch, I am on your page. I am on your wave.
We're making up all kinds of words and phrases on this episode. Anyway, because they talked, they're like now in this committed thing, or they're interested in each other, or because they macked once, it's like, oh, you're my forever love. And it's like, Haley, calm your tits, girl. Like, no, that's not what's happening. And she is like, our relationship, I'm serious about it. Girl, no. He's talking to like 5 girls.
He's making out with all 5.
So a part of me feels, that Haley put Logan on the spot like that, and Logan was never at the level that Haley was, and she just made that assumption. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's what happened.
It's tough. It could be. Listen, the way that it's edited shows that that's exactly what happened.
Right.
I wonder what was cut out to see if because obviously like the show is trying to build audience awareness of a storyline that's eventually going to play out. So they're sort of highlighting all of the ways in which Haley's attempts are failing.
Right.
With, and without saying that in a kinder way, like, so I wonder if there were other times that men were like really flirting with her and then just like dropped off because they had connections built elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. We won't ever know.
I still don't like really trust Logan or really think that he's an appropriate person to be on a show that's supposed to end an engagement.
Agreed. I don't think
I feel the same way about Johnny.
Yes. No, I think they're there to have a good time. I think they're Paradise Boys.
Ooh, like Aaron and
James. Like Aaron and James. They're bros. They're Paradise Boys. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, hear me. There's nothing wrong with that. But let's be real. Like, I don't want to hear Aaron or James be like, I'm ready to propose and be engaged. No, you're probably not. But Michael, Casey...
Michael.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like, no, you're good. I'm just saying like,
I just love him.
Just be upfront. Like if you don't think you're in a place to be getting engaged, don't go on a show, that has the opportunity for engagement and posture that way when you really aren't. As long as they don't do that, I'm okay.
Yeah, but they are doing that, because think about it, like maybe this isn't fair to assume 100% of all of the other women on the show, but like we could probably bet money on the fact that more of those women than of the men are there because they're looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
So like you can't have 12 guys on Paradise and have like 6 of them be Paradise Boys.
Yeah, but that's what people want to watch.
Ugh.
I agree though. I agree.
The consensus.
I agree.
In my watch party this weekend, watch party of 2, what we had said was like the show would be boring if it was filled with a bunch of like emotionally aware, insightful human beings.
Yeah, like I want to. Have you noticed that we haven't seen any of Andrew and Teddy? We never saw barely anything of Brandon and Serene. We never saw much of Michael or Sierra except that one conversation. And it's like, come on, y'all, like. That's why, is because those are healthy, stable, secure connections, and we're just going to watch them talk about, when I was in 3rd grade, this happened to me, and blah, blah, blah. Like, they're talking about that. Everyone else is like, I like to twerk. What's your favorite position? Ooh. Yeah. Like, what's America going to watch?
Yeah. In my head and in my heart, I'm like, the show would be amazing filled with a bunch of people like us. And then I remember that like it's not entertaining. It would be Married at First Sight. Like that's what it would end up becoming. Yeah. Sorry. Maths. That was a huge math sis.
I know.
Sorry.
Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. I do love her. She's spicy.
Me too. Okay, so speaking of Michael and Sierra, the one cute little combo we see. This is great. Here's my notes on this. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Michael's admitting about his struggle to date multiple people and how that's not him. Wow, ladies, look at that. Perfect example of being honest and vulnerable. Look at how the conversation went. Clap emoji, clap emoji.
Yeah, we love that vulnerability.
I said Michael expresses being guarded / still grieving since his late wife and how it's been, or how it gets real how when the connection gets real, he gets scared, but at the same time feels he hasn't found that right person yet. Meanwhile, Sierra's validating him. She's empathizing with him. This is a true connection. And then I put you Googling Coco.
Yeah, I was really glad to see the two of them have a conversation like this. It doesn't always have to be this deep, but I think just exactly what you described, the way in which they went about sharing with one another, really engaging, validating, and honestly, like, she met where he was at emotionally, and then he met her right back. I particularly love to see this because I was feeling a little bit protective of Michael before this conversation happened.
Agreed. Yeah, I get
because that. It just felt like Sierra, all she knew about him was that he was like a hot dad, and like that he was hot and that he was a dad, and also that he was a dad and also that he was hot. Like, I just was like, okay, but maybe this is editing, but I'm like, okay, you've talked to him a little bit. Like, don't you know other things? Like, pay attention to him. And
what's his favorite cake flavor?
Yeah, like, what's his vanilla to chocolate ratio preference?
Yeah.
Figure it out, ho.
I won't lie, a part of me was low-key like, really? Just a little bit of chocolate? Like,
really?
I do love vanilla, though. Yeah.
Are you sure that's what you want? Oh, I don't know. It's not for me. Yeah, I thought that it was beautiful. I think that I could see Michael really being with one person. I do think that it's likely people are going to try to talk to him, but especially if people really like Sierra and they have a lot of respect for her, they're probably just going to like leave them alone.
Yeah, I feel it'll be interesting to see based off of who else comes down the stairs, but I mean, they're cute. They're super cute together.
They're cute. They're very cute. Well, you know, it's going to be the game changer. She's a bit younger than he is. So it's going to be about how, like, as they continue to get to know each other, how does she feel about the idea of potentially being a stepmom type role? Maybe not immediately, but like eventually building towards that place, because that's who he's looking for next.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how she handles that. I don't know her well enough.
Me neither.
You know? So, yeah. Okay, cool. Who's next on our list? I forgot about Lace. I'm not gonna lie. I was watching this episode, and then all of a sudden, Lace came up, and I was like, "Oh my god, I totally forgot she was on this season with the Salley suitcase situation."
The Salley. Oh, can we talk about that? I want to talk about the Salley suitcase situation.
Oh my goodness, I'm intrigued.
I don't think that she's neither there nor coming.
Did you watch the preview? Because she's coming. They finally show her. Yeah.
She's for real coming.
She's for real coming.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you get to witness all that on Clayton's season? Like the rumors and the talking?
Yeah, it was the very beginning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I did enjoy Wells' story time with the entire Salley story, though. That was great.
Yeah, but it felt like a little bit like, okay, so before I thought that it was real. I mean, none of that was real, that like story. But before I thought that Salley even coming, I thought it was. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was like crazy BS, malarkey.
Oh, I thought that was the real story of why she didn't go on Clayton's season, and then why she's not in Paradise yet.
If she's that fickle, she shouldn't be going.
Yeah, I literally have notes in here saying clearly Salley or her fiance is abusive is what I put. I'm like, one of them has Stockholm syndrome and I don't know which one it is.
Well, yeah, if she was like, oh, I'm like, I broke up with my person and that's why I'm on the show. And then she ends up hooking up with Justin at Stagecoach. and then like comes back and then is back with this dude again. Like those are red flags to me.
Oh my God, 100%. So that's why I'm like, this is going to be, I think she is a walking red. We're going to have to see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All the guys said immediately, they were like, ooh, she's a stunner. She's going to stir up trouble, is what all the dudes said.
She is like pretty beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just had Salley question mark. I don't know.
Salley. But Salley,
Okay.
we went through your suitcase. We saw your green dildo. Cool. Or vibrator.
Ooh, I
Is there
didn't
really a
like any
difference?
part of that. I didn't like
Me neither.
any part of them going
I was
through
like, leave her
suitcase.
shit alone.
Yeah, I thought that was and like I'm sure that the producers were egging them on to like
100%.
encourage it, but like I thought I was like, I don't know who Salley is, but I am upset for her.
I would be, well, if I was Salley, I would be humiliated, angry, like, oh my gosh, so many different emotions, sad. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember I guess Lace did. But yeah, I wasn't surprised when it happened. And 100% you're right. The producers put them up to it for sure. It's a complete violation of privacy. The dildo didn't make me laugh though.
Yeah. The dildo was funny, but also I was like, these girls were like freaking out about a dildo. Like, it's a dildo.
I know. Well, one of them was like, I didn't know those were allowed. So I was like, oh, is that why they're making it such a big deal? Because you're not supposed to bring those?
No, I just
I
thought
don't
they
know.
were like prude.
Oh.
Like, get over it.
No,
It's a fucking dildo.
guaranteed they all have one or have used one, I feel. You know?
Maybe not. Maybe not. People are not everyone's hip to the dildo, dude. The vibes. Not everyone's hip to the vibes. Some people are like, yeah.
Well,
It
even if
totally
you
depends on
haven't,
their
I'd be like,
upbringing.
to each their own. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Okay.
Don't judge Salley.
On the topic of Lace, interesting that she stayed afloat.
For real.
Yeah.
Her and Jacob, where did that come from?
It doesn't make any sense to me. Jacob is just, I wanted to ask how you felt about his BIP approach. He's really like talking to everyone and no one at the same time.
Yeah.
And he's just making out with everyone and also no one at the same time. Because the people that he's made out with can't even remember that they've like made out with him.
No.
Like, and like Shanae was like, this is my first, like she like made out with Logan. And she's like, my first like, paradise like connection. Like you literally made out with Jacob like minute 0. Like, did we just forget about that? Like,
it was awkward. We all watched it.
Yeah, we all watched it. He's making out with everyone and no one, which, what do you think? Do you think that's appropriate at this stage? Not appropriate? What do you think?
I mean, like, fuck, there's a part of me that's like, I don't really care. Like, appropriate, not appropriate. It's like, look, I think Jacob's there to have a Jacob time. And,
A Jacob time.
no, I think that's it. Like, I think he kind of reminds me, like, of Aaron, except Aaron had that whole love triangle thing. But, like, they just are there doing them. And if they might meet the right person, they meet the right person. I don't think Jacob has really connected with anyone. I think he's kind of just been entertaining people. I think Jacob will pull some Haley vibes when he meets someone that he's into. Kind of like Luca on Love Island. I think he's going to be like, oh my God, she's the one for me, and like glob on. I just don't think he's met anyone yet. So I think in the meantime, he's just like, whatevs.
Right now, he's a paradise boy.
Yeah.
Right now, he is a paradise boy, but I think that maybe he wouldn't feel so confident the next time that the women have the roses.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He might be in trouble. But so anyway, he was sort of between connecting with Haley and then Lace, and then there was a third, which I forget about. Who was Jacob making out with otherwise? Kira. That's right. Kira got naked. She got
naked. She really tries to lead with her sexuality all the time.
Yeah,
she's like, love me. Here are my titties. Girl, and you have more to offer than your body.
She does. I want to like respect the fact that if you want to lead sex forward, do you? If that's your lane, go for it. I don't. I was going to say I don't know if it always works, but I don't know if that's fair for me to like put that assumption out there. It's just maybe the feelings that I have are like, it wouldn't be me. I don't think I'm gonna put on the Jane.
Let's stop there and talk about that for a second. I'm sure it does work. We all know it works 100%. What's the quality of the relationship, though? That's the question. Kira, you out here to have a good time and to have a great summer fling? Leave with your sexuality. Do it 100%. Yeah. You want a healthy, conscious relationship with a man who respects you and adores you for who you are and what you bring to the table? Maybe not have sex for the first month of dating. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's chill. My personal philosophy. Alex's personal philosophy.
Yeah,
I will take full ownership of that.
She just wants to like be in the boom boom room.
Yeah, she talks about the boom boom room a lot.
A lot. She's clearly comfortable enough with her sexuality in which like this doesn't bother her, that this would be like her signature, her identifier, like the one who is like ready to, because she sort of came in, she was like, if I wasn't a doctor, I'd be a porn star. And I was like, okay, girl, slay.
Go off.
And then, and then she, took the vibrator into the boom boom room herself. And then she's like, Jacob, I want to go to the boom boom room with him. And also, like, let me put the leaves on my body. So it just felt like she's clearly comfortable with all of that. I wonder I feel
like it doesn't come from a confident place. That's my thing about it. That energy feels like it's coming from a place of this is what I have to offer as a woman. This is how I'm going to get my man and keep my man. Not I am Kira, hear me roar, and you're lucky to get a piece of this, right? Like those are two very different energies. And because like, again, you find a lead with your sexuality from a place of like, it's mine to give away. Like, you know what I mean? Versus I need a man and this is how I'm going to catch him. You know?
She's casting a wide sexual net.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Mm-hmm. Rather than a specific, like, oh, I'm feeling you, like, boom, 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 now. And then be like, unapologetic, like, we fucked. I like this person. I don't need to wait. I've felt what I wanted to feel.
Right.
And that's cool. That's not what's happening. This is like, I am a sexual being who's trying to take me out.
Yeah, we forgot about the Casey nipple conversation. Apparently she went up to Casey and like rubbed his nipples, and I'm assuming, because they kept bleeping it out, but I'm assuming she told Casey fucking is her love language. They kept bleeping out the
And Casey's feelings the next day was like, that was interesting, but like not what I'm here for. He's
like, I'm ready to settle down. I need a good girl, is what he said.
Yeah, he's like 38. Okay. Yeah. So let's, speaking of Casey, all that there is to note about it is that Brittany and Casey are vibing. I don't know a lot about Brittany, but she does seem to have her head screwed on straight. And
oh my gosh, yes.
I think that if all goes well, kisses. Yeah.
I would be so happy for them.
Yeah, me too. Okay. Jacob, let me just tie up that loose end. Jacob ends up giving Lace a rose. That's interesting. We got to talk about Romeo.
I am upset.
Romeo,
I know I texted you. Yeah,
Romeo.
Dude.
What the fuck art thou doing, Romeo?
Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah. Okay, this is what happens. Romeo has we leave off after the first episode where he's like getting to know Jill.
Yep.
And then like in the second episode he tries to talk to Brittany after sort of like putting Jill on, I'd say putting Jill on ice. Like he wasn't trying to continue to like deepen his connection with Jill like he said he was going to. Instead he was like, Jill, like, I don't want to go get a drink with you right now. I'm going to go, like, talk to Wells or whatever. And then he goes and pulls Brittany for a chat. And then it's like, Brittany, like, I'm interested in you. Like, I want to get to know you. And she was like, nor, sorry, babes. And then,
oh, my God.
Yeah. And then she was like, not for me. And then he was like, okay, but I'm going to try to kiss you anyway. He said that with his body, not his words. And she went, ooh, ooh, not so much, bro.
Swerved. Yeah.
Absolutely, the swerve.
Classic. Yeah.
Classic swerve. Literal swerve.
Yes.
And she was just like, nor. And he was like, okay, ouch. And then gets out of there and then goes, where does he go next? Does he go back to Kira and say, I want to like, oh, Jill reams him out.
Brittany tells
Jill.
Romeo to go tell Jill, but he doesn't. So Brittany goes and tells Jill. Then Romeo finds out Jill knows, goes to talk to Jill, and Jill starts saying, I don't want to talk. Romeo keeps insisting, and it spirals and gets really gnarly.
He follows her.
Yeah, follows her. She keeps saying, I don't want to talk, leave me alone, da-da-da. And then I actually have a note here that says I'm actually really proud for Jill for calling him out, because at one point she's like, I told you what I need already. Like, leave me the fuck alone. And he won't.
Yep.
So I was really proud of her for using that language. Like, I already told you what I needed.
It was creepy.
It was creepy. It was cringy. It was, honestly, what it was severe emotional regulation. Or emotional manipulation, not regulation.
Yeah.
It was dysregulating as fuck.
It was
but emotional manipulation. Like, he doesn't want to give her space because he wants to fill the air before she has time to think straight and process what she's just been told. And if you tell someone, hey, I don't want to talk right now. Leave me alone. And they insist on not leaving you alone. That's a huge red flag. Boundary violation, disrespect for your requests, your words, not honoring what you're needing, like what you're requiring. Like, it's so bad.
And Jill immediately has the ick. Has the ick. I had the ick. You had the ick. Honestly, everyone on that beach had the ick. He went to Haley. He tried talking to her, and she was like, "No." He tried to reopen things back up with Kira.
Can I make it worse?
Yes.
So after this whole debacle with Jill, he goes and then cries in a public space, like goes and walks out into the middle of the beach and starts crying in the waves, within eye shot of Jill. And I feel that was calculated. I really do. It felt so icky to me.
I didn't believe it either.
And then, oh my God. By the way, I can't remember if we touched on this, but part of what he told Brittany was, do you mind talking and not telling Jill because I don't want her to be devastated? He literally asked her friend to do it behind her back and to keep it behind her back. Like, ew, ick, ick, ick. So then he goes to Haley and says, I have a good feeling about you. You're a ray of sunshine. That's what he says immediately after dealing with this shit with Jill. Then Haley turns him down. He goes to Kira. Starts trying to make a move on Kira. And Kira's like, I don't trust you and don't appreciate how you treated me. And I was like, damn straight, I'm glad all these girls are turning you down.
Kira said the most sound thing that has been aired for her. Because maybe she said other sound things before then. But it didn't make it to editing. She had the most sound response to him. She was like, I didn't appreciate how you treated me. There's no part of me that is interested in rekindling this. I don't trust you. And I was like, yes, Kira, you said exactly how I feel, girl.
Yeah, especially witnessing this popcorn behavior. Bro, chill. Oh my gosh. So then Wells, the next episode opens with Wells making a comment about Romeo being Mercutio, and I was like, spot the fuck on, 100%. That hit. I was laughing. And then I agree with Casey. Casey makes a point about Romeo. He's like, I don't understand why Romeo's crying, because literally what he's dealing with is the consequences of all of his decisions.
Yeah, totally. All of that was his own doing. It just, he just
bad.
didn't. I think that maybe either this is a really poor example of how he tried to manipulate some of these women to feel close to him and failed pretty miserably. They all called him out pretty quickly. or this person is just so unfamiliar with like dating. I mean, dating in a context like this is not normal, nor should it ever be. But like dating lots of women and sort of having to deal with all of the immediate circumstance, like consequences, ASAP, like doesn't know how to deal with it. He clearly doesn't know how to like engage in appropriate conflict resolution. So surprising considering what we saw of him in his.
But that's what I'm
Bachelor
trying to.
season.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Because like I kind of said this last week, really, like in a blip at the beginning of the episode. But I'm trying to figure out if this is Romeo post really standing out on The Bachelorette as a voice of like reason and maturity and, you know, like against misogyny. Like he was so articulate and grounded and sound in the way that he spoke about everything. And then to see this version of him, I'm like, is this because of, you know, you low-key gaining some famousness, you know what I mean? And having a lot of women come clinging to you. So now this good guy is trying to figure out how to play the field. Like, is that what we're seeing? And he's just
That's
like
sort of
fucking fumbling it. Yeah.
It fits. I can't say yes, it's definitely it, but like,
but it makes me sad because it's like, bro, don't ever change. Like you were so special. I mean, he still is special just because he's a human, but like, fuck, that makes me sad that that's how he's going to choose to operate in this moment in his life, you know?
Agreed.
Fuck.
I mean, he is, hopefully he learns from it. I don't know how much longer he's going to be on the island. He does scramble. He ends up offering Jill a rose because literally I don't know who else would accept one from him. And she wasn't going to accept one, but she did so that she could stay. She also made that clear to him. She was like, nothing in paradise is guaranteed. So basically she's saying, yeah, I'm going to take your rose. And then immediately afterwards, she was like, there's nothing happening between us. Like, there will never be.
She said that before, too. And the reason she said that, if I'm remembering correctly, it's Romeo's words that she's throwing back at him because he said that to her. And it's just like, whoa. Pretty sure that that's why she chose those. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to bring up is this. So Johnny has been like connecting with Hunter, which we haven't seen any of, which means it's probably a pretty healthy connection, honestly. And Victoria swoops in with a little makeout sesh and boom, she gets that guy's rose. Like instantaneously.
A healthy connection, but one that clearly wasn't
sexy enough.
Well, it wasn't going to go anywhere. I wonder what the connection was actually like. I wish we saw more of it to see if Johnny was not actually that interested and was just way more interested in Victoria and she just like had a vibe that he was into, or
like what was it?
Like, or did he totally play her? I don't know, because like obviously she didn't get much airtime because she was eventually going to be leaving.
Yeah,
but like it was interesting. Johnny doesn't need a lot, I think, to get excited as well. So I think that's what that was about.
Yeah. And then should we just run through who everybody picks for the rose ceremony real quick?
Yeah, let's go for it.
So Andrew picks Teddy, Michael picks Sierra, Brandon picks Serene, Jacob picks Lace, curveball. Justin picks Genevieve. I was surprised about that. Johnny picks Victoria. Casey picks Brittany. Logan picks Shanae. Romeo picks Jill. And then Kira didn't say goodbye to anyone. She just bounced. Did you see that? She like dipped so fast.
That does not surprise me. True Kira fashion. She said, fuck all you hoes.
It was like Irish goodbye.
Outta here. Yeah. I was sad to see Hunter go. Haley, I don't think that this was the right space for her.
Agreed.
I don't think she was connecting with anyone. So, like, you know, it's okay, girl. You're going to find your person. I want to talk about Teddy and Andrew.
Okay.
A little.
Let's talk about him.
Andrew really likes Teddy. He's like, I could see me wanting to see this person long term. Yeah. And Teddy is like, I don't know if we're really on the same page. Wondering if maybe something's missing. valid. It's incredibly valid. But when she's looking at how their pace is moving, now I'm not them, and I'm not living in their bodies or their feelings or their hearts or anything. But if I'm them and I'm looking around the room and I see all of these other connections happening really quickly, I wish that they could like sort of take stock in the fact that like maybe some of these relationships are happening a little too quickly. Maybe we're moving at like a really normal pace.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I feel like it's that. I feel like she is spoiling a good thing. I think too often, this was me at one point too, when we are so used to being like obsessed and like crazy, quite literally like crazy, can't think about anything else, can't function until I hear from them or whatever, know how they're doing. When you're in that space, it's not because you're so in love and you're meant to be, it's because you're not healthy. You're not in a healthy connection. And I don't mean that that's toxic or abusive. That's not what I'm saying. But it's not normal to be so unhinged because you like somebody. And I think that unfortunately that has been normalized. I think so many people are so used to this, like, we need to be in constant contact. It's first person I text when I wake up, last person I text before I go to bed. Just like attached at the hip, have to be thinking, have to be crazy about you, have to be all the feels, and so then when we find a stable, safe connection and we're like, oh my God, I like kissing you and like I really enjoy hanging out with you and like you're a lot of fun, but I'm not like freaking the fuck out when we're not together wondering, if you're gonna text me. That's good. But we interpret it as something's missing because I'm not crazy about you. And it's like nothing's fucking missing. Anxiety's missing. That's a good thing. Right.
Because what I'm seeing in the other couples that are moving quite quickly, outside of like Michael and Sierra and maybe Casey and Brittany, what I'm seeing is people who are like, I like you, you're pretty, you're really, really hot.
Yeah.
Like, so attractive, and they're just like making out. Maybe there's a lot of their connections that we're not seeing. And what I see about Teddy and Andrew is like they're like flirting, they're like getting to know each other sort of on like a friendship level, but it's got flirty banter. It's rich in excitement and it's comfortable. It's like a really nice balance. And so it just feels like, girl, stick this out a little.
I know.
Invest in this.
Yeah.
However,
Andrew's like such a sweet guy too. I know. However,
he's so sweet. Rodney comes in and listen, I love Rodney. You love Rodney. We all be loving our Rodney.
Yeah. Rodney came in and upset everybody's apple cart. Pun intended. The Apple Man is back.
And also like delicious as ever.
Yeah. He has a cute energy about him. Like really playful.
He's so cute.
And warm.
And also like he's more attractive to me on the beach than he was like in the Bachelorette.
I agree. Yeah.
Why is that? Is it the open shirt?
Open shirt, the vibe, versus like a tux and like, winter gear. I think it was like cold when they were at Katie's season, wasn't it? So it's like
no, it was Michelle.
Oh shit, Michelle's season. But yes, it was cold, right?
Yeah,
Am
cold.
I making that up?
Yeah.
I feel like it was cold.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
it was cold.
Meaning, so we saw him in turtlenecks and like jackets, not like, I don't look great in winter. I look like the fucking Michelin Man.
When's the last time you were in winter?
Okay, look, 70 degrees right now is winter to me after these 120 degree summers. Yeah. You feel me?
Yeah.
I literally wore a hoodie outside and it was 73 degrees and I was like, damn.
I did the same thing. I was like, wow, I've really become this bitch, haven't I? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
Yeah, Boston gets cold.
Oh, girl. Boston's so cold.
Yeah.
Okay. So Rodney comes and Teddy's into Rodney. Who else is into Rodney?
Everybody.
Everyone.
Shanae.
Wait.
Shanae's
into Rodney. Is Is Serene still into Rodney? She was kind of hoping that he would come.
Rodney, I know, named Serene with Jesse on his way down the stairs, but I don't know about the vice versa situation.
Yeah. I think that Brandon made a really good observation where he was like, Rodney's going to come down. Like, women are going to be interested in him. And the other thing is that Rodney's friends with some of us. So
I know.
We're going to have to see how it goes.
I love Brandon. He's so emotionally mature.
Yeah, he's leveled. Also, an excellent flirter. Excellent.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
He's
I feel like I've gotten
hell.
I feel like I've gotten to see him way more this go around. And I would, last week I said I would be making a beeline towards Michael. I would also be crushing on Brandon.
Ooh, who would your crushes be in this space right now, the current people?
I would want to talk to Casey, Michael, Brandon, and then if I'm being really honest, the immature part of Alex wants to talk to Aaron.
Yeah, I hear you.
He's such a bro. He's such a bro that I feel like...
He's like your kind of bro?
Yeah, like, he's my kind of... Like Aaron would be a really fun, casual fling for me, but not a, long-term relationship. So,
totally.
But, Michael, Brandon, and Casey, I would talk to, okay, are we gonna do this damn thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, are we gonna get married? Let's get married.
Yeah. What about you?
I would Casey, Michael, Brandon, Justin, depending on how we communicated.
I know. That's the thing is I like Justin, but I'm like, eh.
Yeah. I do like him. I think that sometimes he could stand to be a little bit more curious when he feels misunderstood.
Agreed. But I wish I could see him conflict resolve with Victoria, because I feel that judging his conflict resolution skills just based off of Genevieve is hard for me. Although I will say, for some reason, I feel more confident because I haven't seen Genevieve connect with anyone else. So that's why it's like, I feel like Justin with Victoria can converse in a more calm, grounded manner. But, with Genevieve, I don't feel that. But I haven't been able to see her converse with anyone else either.
Totally. We'll see, because she did go on a double date with Aaron. And James came down, and they picked Shanae and Genevieve, which sort of felt like a producer push to reenact a Clayton date, which was annoying. But Genevieve and Aaron did connect, and they ended up making out, and they definitely seem to have similar personalities. I still don't trust Aaron as a person who would be serious about a partner.
Yeah, me neither. I think he's a paradise boy. So is James. I know.
And I think Genevieve is quite young.
How old is she? I don't know.
I don't know, but her energy is very a very brand new soul.
Yeah.
Brand new soul.
Yeah, but again, if they're okay with that being the extent of their relationship and they're on the same page about it, more power to you.
Sure, but if what she's giving up is what she thinks could be a good
marriage
connection and an actual relationship with someone like Justin, worth it? Yeah. Is that worth it?
No, I think it's worth it for where she's at in her life right now. That it seems.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I got you.
Okay, cool.
There was a part of me that felt like Genevieve was quite hypocritical when she was enjoying herself on this date, but I caught myself in that reaction because that's a petty part of me that wanted to be see, this is what it's like on the other side of this. It's sort of harmless, and also it matters. It changes the game, and it's also just part of the game. But I changed my tune to attack her less in these moments, because one, I do think that how she presented and showed up on this date was quite genuine from her perspective. And I think that this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go on these dates. You're supposed to be open to other people. And I think it would have been cool to see how she would have spent that time with Justin, getting to know him. Again, if this was an island and beach filled with a lot of boring, emotionally aware people, like, she could have been vibing and connecting with Justin and been like, yeah, go on your date. I don't know if I love that, but like, okay, maybe I'll go on a date. And then she goes on a date and she's like, wow, it was kind of cool. I had 2 people that I really like. Like, what am I going to do about that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's the point. Here's the thing. Remember when we're watching Love Island and it's like everyone's there at first for the first time and it's kind of just a fucking free-for-all.
Yep.
None of these people are treating this like a fucking free-for-all except for, unfortunately, Jacob.
Yeah. Yeah. Jacob would fit in on Love Island so well.
Yeah, he probably would, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
It's so annoying. I don't know why that annoys me.
Because, I don't know either. Sit with that one. I don't know. I was going to try and take a whack at it, but I put that one down real quick.
It just annoys me.
Yeah, it's like, you don't want him to hang out with the cool kids. But Jacob, you are a cool kid. Jacob is who Jacob is, and I honestly enjoy him for that. He reminds me of Aaron. Like, him and Aaron, like, he's Aaron several years ago. Just, like, being true to his boyish Pacific Beach self, you know? Like, which is a San Diego beach out here. That's, like, where all the college kids hang out and bang. Okay. So...
They have sex on the beach?
I'm sure some of them do.
Seems messy.
It's definitely, I've heard.
Oh,
it's
to
messy.
be young. Be young and reckless.
I would still
and
do
not
that,
be worried.
Though.
I don't know.
At
I'm kind of
night.
worried about a bacterial infection in my vagine.
Not in the ocean.
I know.
Like on the sand, but like on a large sheet.
Yeah, I still don't know if I've... Listen, that's a different topic for a different day.
Let's get back to our show.
Let's get back to
Thanks
it.
for hanging with us, guys, in this very all over the place episode.
What a raw episode. I'm not upset about it. I feel pretty good about it so far, but I am entering a state of delusion.
Yeah, me too. Let's go. Rapid fire. So, I felt the same way about Justin reeling about Genevieve going on the date. He's like, that's not fair. Like, she told me, like, she was so upset about me going on a date, and now she's going to go on a date. And it's like, I thought the conversation you guys had was, she was just saying how that's what we're here to do, so that's what we're here to do.
He's retaliating. I wonder how, I truly wonder how his behavior would have changed, if at all, if she didn't give him such a big stinking stink.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah. So then, yeah, he's a little stretcher boy down there. Let's see. Romeo's still trying to go after Jill, but she keeps turning him down. Like, it's not freaking happening. And then Ashley, and Jared show up, who, oh my God, these two. I remember watching them on Bachelor in Paradise being like, Ashley, get your shit together.
Okay, full transparency, which is the first time
you don't know
said
any
that
of
today
that
on this episode. I don't know any of it, and also, I'm remembering in this moment that I missed the last part of this episode.
Oh,
my travel day got started, and then I had to fix my air conditioning during the time when I was going to watch the rest of it, and I totally fucking forgot.
It's okay.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah, so long story short, because Ashley, and Jared, I was like, this was when I was really into the Bachelor franchise. So, like, that's, Ashley, and Jared, it took them like 3 fucking years to get together because Ashley, was all about him and they would date and then not be together. And so they were like on Paradise, I think 2 seasons back to back with the same dynamic. And then it still didn't work out. And then I don't know if you know Tanner and Jade, but Tanner and Jade got together on one of their seasons. I fucking love Tanner and Jade. They're a great couple too. Mm-hmm. But they met on Bachelor in Paradise. Super organic connection. They got married. Nice. Great. Tanner, Jade, and Jared, or maybe it was just Tanner and Jared, but they went on a trip.
The married couple.
And when they were on the trip, Jared finally admitted to Tanner, like, ooh, maybe I do like Ashley. Because, like, I remember listening to a podcast episode where Jared was explaining, like, what finally did it. Because, like, this girl had been chasing him for years. And they were all like, what made you change your mind? and he said Ashley eventually like stopped chasing me, and then we just became good friends. And she was throwing some like charity event for her organization, and he went to go help her with it, and just saw her in her element, like kicking ass, and was like, "Oh my God, I like this girl." And then ended up like, I guess he didn't tell her about it, but like was just crushing on her from afar, and then tells Tanner on this trip, and Tanner was like, "You need to fucking tell Ashley you like her." And then they got
she's
together.
in love with you. Okay,
Yeah.
so I remember them coming onto the beach in this episode, and I remember the clips of like her like absolutely losing her mind over him.
Yeah.
I didn't know the whole story. My personal feeling was like, why would you wait around for years and years and years and years and years and years as an adult for a person that swerved you, rejection. At some point, wouldn't you want to be like, all right, gotta go? And I know that she did that, but like, come on.
If I'm being honest, this is true. This is true for me. Ashley, if I'm remembering this correctly, because this aligns in my mind, I remember using her storyline as a way to enable me going back to my narcissistic ex.
And that doesn't surprise me because it sort of like, reinforces that hopefulness.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's like dangerous to me. Like, it's great that it worked out for them. And like, I hear Ashley when she's like, it can work. The answer is yes. But unfortunately, a lot of people take that out of context and apply it to context where it's really detrimental to their mental and emotional and physical health even. So it's like, I'm happy that they're happy, like, and they seem to be a really happy, good together couple, but I am anxious for, the people who I know are going to hear their story and use that just like I used to, So, yeah, it's not the same. He wasn't abusing her. He was very upfront about how he felt about her.
He was upfront. He was telling her, I'm not interested in you like that. I don't see you like that. But I agree with you. Like, I don't know if it's totally healthy to make them the poster children of like what happens when you just never let go and you never give up.
Yeah.
Like,
because the other thing that was frustrating for me too is like Lace was like, they're proof that Paradise can work. I'm like, they didn't get together on Paradise. They didn't.
Exactly.
They spent I believe it was 2 Paradises together on and off, and it was like awful for Ashley. That's not necessarily true. So
Agreed.
Interesting. Tanner and Jade are a better example of Paradise working. But they've moved on with their lives, it feels like.
From Bachelor stuff.
I mean, I think they still do the occasional thing, but it's like rare.
Yeah,
they're off doing their own thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then
what happens after that? They talk.
Yeah, Ashley like goes with all the girls to like, see what's going on.
Pep talk.
Jill opens up to Ashley about what happened, and Ashley's like, every day's a new day. She was talking about manifesting Jill a man for her. Just like cute little girl talk. The debacle with Genevieve, the love triangle we were just talking about. Genevieve, Aaron, Justin situation was happening. I think it was that one that they were talking about. But yeah, just like some girl talk. And then that was it, really. Like, nothing really happened. I know that Jared went off with the guys. I don't recall him talking much with the guys being aired.
Did we get left with any, like, cliffhangers at the end of the Salley stuff, I guess?
Yeah, you actually missed something kind of huge. So are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
So Rodney, obviously, it pulls Teddy for a chat to, like, see if there's a connection there, And then after that, Teddy, like, breaks the fuck down. She feels so guilty about, like, having this chat with Rodney about potentially going on a date just to see if there's a connection. And she feels like Andrew doesn't deserve this. Like, I should be able to give him more, like, based off of what he's giving me. And so she breaks up with Andrew and then up and leaves and doesn't say goodbye to anyone. Just grabs her suitcase.
She leaves
and goes,
Paradise?
Yeah, and then Rodney comes back down the stairs and is like, where's Teddy? I want to take her on the date. And everyone's like, bro, she just left. And, like, no one...
What?
Like, all the girls are basically crying because they're like, why would she just leave? Yeah,
she's really
crazy.
Close with a lot of those girls.
Yeah. It was
How's Andrew?
Crazy.
What did Andrew do?
Cried. He broke down to Michael, and was just like, his exact words were like, I feel like I botched it, dude. And Mike was like, you didn't, though.
You didn't do anything.
Because what was really sweet about Teddy's conversation with Andrew, and I made a note to this, is that Teddy's like crying and crying because she feels so remorseful about, why am I not obsessed with this guy? Like, and she even tells him, like, I like kissing you, I enjoy hanging out with you, but I just feel like something's missing. And she's like really upset about it. And so she apologizes for crying, and Andrew's like, you're fine. You're good. Just like totally holding space for her. And I obviously think that's really hot. So I was like, good job, Andrew. And then, I felt for him when when Andrew was talking to Mike, and he was like, I botched it. And Michael's like, no, you didn't. Like, Andrew, you did not. Andrew, no. It was all green flags. But that's the end of the episode.
Okay, wait. That's crazy. What do you feel like with all of that insight about what Teddy says? Like, I like kissing you. I like doing this. Like, I like this. Like, I don't know why I don't feel more. We hear this a lot. My opinion, I want to hear yours. My opinion is like, stick it out a little while, girl.
Me too. Yeah. I say that all the time. In my experience.
You can start from that place.
Yeah. Okay. I'll share with my ex, Jordan. We dated for, it took me 3 months of seeing the guy regularly before I was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like 3 months. And I communicated where I was at, and it was uncomfortable as fuck for both of us. Cause obviously
he didn't want to hear that. Yeah.
No, he didn't want to hear that. But because I was so upfront with how I was thinking and feeling and what I was also working on in myself, he stayed. And then literally, he dropped the L word a couple weeks before I did. But when I finally got to that point, it like came out of my mouth. It just happened because I felt it. And so it's like, I think we need to give ourselves time and grace. And I think 3 months is enough time to see someone consistently and be in their world consistently to be able to know if you see a true foundation that's being like a healthy foundation being established or not. And that's really what I was waiting for before I could let myself emotionally get there because of all the shit I went through in my past. So it's like, I agree. Like I'm always saying this, like, you want to see if you're curious about getting to like those connections where you leave and you're like, ooh, next time I want to know more about this. Like, and you find yourself kind of like, I wonder, like, oh, they said they play an instrument. I wonder what instrument it is. And you're ruminating on the conversation in that way. That's a connection you want. You're curious about them. It doesn't need to be this, oh my God, what do they think about me? Do they think I'm pretty? I wonder if they like me. I wonder if they're telling their friends about me. If you're thinking that, not the same. That's all chasing. That's all chasing wounds. The other one is like a conscious curiosity and connection about the other person. You know?
Yeah, I think she really got in her head about what she thought she was supposed to feel, and she was ignoring the like, sort of subtle and beautiful features of their connection that they were building.
Yeah.
Because they were building.
Yeah, and I really feel for her, and I feel like she's going to regret it, and one of the other girls on the show said the same thing that you and I did, and I'm like, I'm with you. I think she is going to regret it. I think it was Serene. So we're just going to have to see.
Yeah, because, I mean, the thing is, it's like,
what if she gets to the airport and then is like, I'm going to come back?
They totally would let her come back because they let lots of other crazy stuff happen on the show.
Oh yeah.
But if she doesn't come back, like Andrew's gonna be with someone else by the end of the show. Like he's
fully capable.
He is a full package deal.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay,
are there
red
any
flag,
folks
green
in here?
flag.
Okay, good. Because I was going to ask if there's anyone that we missed, but I feel like we covered everyone.
We did. All right.
Red flag.
Red flag, green flag.
Romeo is just the biggest red flag.
Walking red flag.
Century.
Oh my gosh. So
Walking
bad. So many red flags.
What do you pick? The fact that he was disingenuous with each and every woman about saying,
the
I
fact
want
that
to
he
build a
asked
connection
someone
with
to
you.
lie.
Yeah, he asked someone to lie. He asked someone to keep this between us. Didn't read this like cue of like this girl literally already told him like, no, I'm not interested, and then he went to go kiss her anyway. The fact that the biggest red flag for me is if you are in conflict with someone and someone says to you like, I'm getting up and I'm leaving, even if you don't feel done with the conversation, you need to let them go. Let them go. Do not follow them, especially if you're a man. Sorry. It's just like the posturing of it all is really intimidating. It's very scary for us. So like
freaky.
To be followed, even if you're just like unhappy with how the conversation ended and you're like not willing, like I felt like Romeo was just like, I didn't like how this ended. Like I have to fix it. I have to make it better. Even if your intentions are good, you are a man following me in the night. And I've asked you multiple times to like leave me alone. I'm starting to feel less and less in control of my own safety. That's how we're feeling.
Yeah.
So big ick, big red flag.
Yeah. And for women who do that to any men, like, I need to fix, because that's exactly what's going on. They're panicking. They're like, I need to fix it. I need to fix it. I need to fix it. You might not scare off if you're, again, heterosexual norms. You might not scare them off, but let me tell you, it is going to feel controlling as fuck. So, like,
yeah, it's not going to make it better. I can promise you, babes.
Just don't. Okay, so we're gonna give Romeo all the red flags. I guess I'll give a red flag to Haley for the clinging, the like, we're in a relationship, and it's like, girl, you're not though. Like, just check yourself. Like, be upfront with like, okay, I'm feeling like we're in a relationship, but before I assume that that's how this other person's feeling, we need to have that conversation. You know what I mean? What is this?
Yep.
Define it. Okay, green flags. I have a good green flag. I like mine.
Tell me yours.
Okay, my green flag is with Sierra, with Michael validating him. Because I know, and I can only imagine, because I haven't been in this situation, so I can only imagine, but being with someone who has a very large part of their story interwoven with another woman who they adored and loved until that soul passed from this earth, and hearing about how that's currently impacting the man that's sitting next to me, I can only imagine there would be a part of me that very much would start to draw the comparison of, am I not good enough? And go there. And Sierra did not go there. She was like, I am here for you. I understand. And she validated him. And so I just want to say, like, it's absolutely normal for anyone to feel, oop, they're still hung up on their ex, or, you know, so on and so forth. And we need to be able to see the human that's in that experience too, right? Instead of take their longing, like, and again, ex isn't the right term here. A wife who passed away, like, that's a huge thing, and they share a child together. You know, we need to be able to validate, see, empathize, even if it makes us uncomfortable. So, good job, Sierra.
Good job, Sierra. Yeah, I'm with that. I thought that was really cool. It was nice to see on such a popular show like this as well, because it was a big conversation.
Yeah.
My green flag is right now. It's a tentative green flag, but let's give it to this person. I want to give Victoria a green flag because I really feel like her behavior, I feel like she hasn't been dishonest. She's been quite honest. And she's also done little silly things that have just been herself, that have sort of taken away some of the illusion of just being a hot girl. I think sometimes people come on the show and they just play into that hot girl character. But I love when she dove face first into the date bed. That's not why she's getting my green flag, but I just do think that she's showing some signs of being an authentic version of herself on the show. And I think that she's been honest and appropriately vulnerable. And I think that the fact that she wanted to make out with someone that she was also into was probably smart for her in the grand scheme of this game.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it was
green flag.
conniving or malicious at all.
No.
Yeah, I'm excited about Victoria F, which is saying a lot because I was like, I did not like her on Peter's season. So and what I love about that is that I like that there is the potential for that much growth to be demonstrated on national television. You know what I mean? Like even the register of her voice, like when she was on Peter's season, if you were to be able to track that down, she was like, Peter! And now she's like, hey.
She's in her flow state.
Yeah, like I'm excited. I hope that is that's the true her we're gonna see in the coming weeks. Okay, well, that's it for today's show. If you like us, we so did it. If you like us and want to celebrate this all over the place episode with us, leave us a rating and review.
Yeah.
Screenshot the episode, share it to Instagram, tag us on your story at Ditch the Script Pod. And if you're not following us there yet, in case you missed our whole conversation about following us on the gram before, come on, y'all, at Ditch the Script Pod on the gram and on TikTok. And if you have any questions that you want us to answer, ditchthescriptpod.com. And then if you want to apply for a session, you can go to ditchthescriptpod.com/podcast. And that's it.
Yeah, we have a mom to prove wrong, so let's get after it.
Let's get to following. Have all your friends
Let's get to following. That's right.
All right. Bye.
We love you. Bye.
Love you.